Have to think that's down the road either in Hector Camacho or in Aaron Pryor. And speaking of the unbeatable man, the man on my right is something of the unbeatable man. We will be seeing Sugar Ray Leonard come back to the ring, and that is just down the road on HBO.
He's the WBC welterweight champion of the world, ladies and gentlemen.
Introducing, in the blue corner, fighting out of Palmer Park, Maryland.
And he really needs no introduction the world over here. The undisputed world's welterweight boxing champion, the classy Sugar Ray Leonard.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Back the other way. 3-4 punches to the face now of Larry Barnes. Right above us once more. A right hand and another right hand.
You're blowing it now, son. You're blowing it. You better be quicker. You got to take it away from him. Okay?
Hearns has to tie him up or something. Now it's going for the whole boat. Hitting him with combinations. Leonard has given everything he's got. Hearns starts down the ground and now goes down through the ropes. Leonard hits. Hearns just trying to hang on here. Left hand sends Hearns back against the ropes again. And that's all. It's over.
Go your thing before this kid will fall apart. Go your own thing.
There's a right hand and Finch is snapped. So right back. Now Ray had a chance that time, I think, to follow up. Decided not to. Another right hand, and there is a booming right hand that puts Bruce Finch down.
I'm hoping that we can get together in there and make this big money that we've been talking about.
Let's get this on the air.
About all over. And the people want to see it, Leonard. We don't want you to retire yet until you come at the marvelous one.
Okay,
It's got to be the big one, right?
That is the biggest one.
All right.
And if you make that comeback, you might wind up the greatest of all times.
And as I stand here, in 1 second, I'll tell you exactly what I'm going to do. A fight with this great man, this great champion, could be one of the greatest fights in the history of boxing. Talking about money, you talk about Fort Knox. And this is the only man can make that possible. Marvelous Marvin Hagler. But unfortunately, it'll never happen. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome for the first time in the ring since February 15th, 1982, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yes, it's not a comeback, I'm back. It's just the actual challenge. And because I am healthy, and because I don't see myself as getting into the ring and jeopardizing anything, I've put the personal wealth aside. I mean, what I'm doing now is still something that is within me, the drive, the hunger of professional competition. I still have that.
So now, America's heartthrob is back in training, looking ahead to one of the most celebrated comebacks in the history of boxing. Sugar Ray Leonard has returned to dazzle the public and prove his prowess in the world of boxing.
I still love the thrill of winning. I love the challenge, the competition. I just hate to lose.
And now we present Sugar Ray Leonard's first test on the long road back. On Saturday, February 25th, the former welterweight and junior middleweight champion will fight Kevin Howard in his first trip to the ring in 2 years. That'll be live right here on HBO. And we are back in Reno, Nevada, and Ray Leonard, you will go from here back home to Maryland and step back into the gym. And I know it's going to be a discipline. You've been away from for quite a while. How far do you want to go with it? What are your goals right now? What have you set your sights on?
Well, Barry, first of all, I'd go back and get my title, which my friends Donald Curry and Mick McCoy have at the present time, and move on to junior middleweight and hopefully the inevitable with Marvin Hagler. I can envision 2 years of activity.
Well, let's talk about the 2 years. We talked about Bobby Chacon, a guy that is very difficult to say, that's it, no more, I've had it. Could you say, that's it, no more, I've had it?
Yes, I can, because, see, Barry, I'm not in there for the money. I'm in there for what's inside of me, the love. I still have the same discipline, the same drive, and that's what's made me so successful in the past.
Somebody actually told me they had seen you working out, and they said point blank, this guy right now is stronger than he was when he hung him up a year and a half ago.
Well, I am stronger. I feel I'm more disciplined, and I'm older, I'm wiser. I know exactly what I'm capable of doing, because I wouldn't go back in there if I didn't.
You've always said, I like to stay very active, and you've been talking to me about possibly fighting as often as every 3 or 4 months.
I like to. I like to stay as active as possibly can, Barry. Once every 3 months. I like to keep going, because the more I fight, the sharper I become. And I think that the way things are going now, by the fall, I'll have my title back.
Is it a difficult thing to not look by people? You've got a fight with a guy named Kevin Howard. True enough, you look at everything on paper and you say, sure, Sugar Ray Leonard should beat Kevin Howard. And somewhere in the back of your head, of course, is Milton McCrory. He's going to be down the road in the not too far distant future. Do you worry about perhaps looking by a guy like Kevin Howard?
No, I can't look past Kevin, because he's called a spoiler anyway. But, being realistic, I can speculate, but I don't look past Kevin Howard, because my first fight is going to be a tough fight, mentally, spiritually, and psychologically, because I have to impress. And who? The public.
Okay, we talked a little bit about Milton McCrory. He could be just down the road. He had what was supposed to be a pretty tough fight for him today against Milton Guest, a guy who was 17-1 with 17-1 with 15 knockouts. But Milton McCrory did a pretty good job today, 6-round TKO.
Well, Milton McCrory